Hello and welcome to Intrepid Dawn. I am the Alpaca, and I'll be filling in for Captain Katarn again tonight with a follow-up EVE Online special. Today is Capsuleer Day. It's the 15-year anniversary of EVE Online, and in the game of EVE Online, the Society of Consensus Thought marks every 5 years with an event. So that is the program we'll have this evening. And I just wanted to also let everyone know that Tim, again, is very sorry that he can't make it tonight, but he'll be sure to return tomorrow with something new and exciting. That being said, I'm obligated to say, please subscribe, like, and enjoy the channel, and hopefully everyone will enjoy the show today. Alright, getting back into where we were from last time, we had created a character on EVE Online as Captain Katarn, our best representation of what we think he looks kind of like. Let's see if I can pull up that image here. And here we go. Captain Katarn, Evil Emperor, and Galactic Dominator. So tonight it'll just be me for the beginning. We'll have probably John Doe joining us again tonight, and any of you guys are all welcome to join us. We'll be doing the new Capsuleer Day event today that just started today. It's the Capsuleer event. Sorry, hold on one second. It's the Operation Consensus Interruption. It's running from the 2nd of May to the 15th of May. And the job is to eliminate the drifter threat. Now, the drifters are unknown at the moment. They are an evil aspect of the New Eden universe. AI drones that have started to make incursions into New Eden. Their intentions are yet unknown, but they have proven very hostile. The idea is to eliminate the drifter threat. As the Society of Consensus Thought repeat their tradition of marking the dawn of the Capsuleer Age every 5 years, this time with distribution of the powerful new Praxis-class battleship, which, if you subscribe on EVE Online before May 6th, you will get one for free, plus many other great Anniversary Day events. The drifters said that raid the Society of Consensus Thought distribution facilities in an attempt to disrupt the operations on this 15th anniversary. Your task is to defend the facilities and strike back against the drifters' staging points to thwart the impeccable foe and recover vital Society of Consensus Thought technology. Sounds pretty exciting to me. No, this is not Tim's voice. This is the Alpaca. I am filling in for Tim again tonight. He is tied down with work, and I'm just I'm going to be doing a follow-up to my EVE special, which was 2 days ago. Thank you all for being in chat. I'm excited to do this again with you guys. And again, if anyone wants to join in, the Alpaca. So we are in EVE Online, and we've created our character. So what do we do now? Well, that is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to figure out what you can do if you create a new character, are open to find in EVE Online. At the moment, I'm just floating in space, taking in the quite nice view. I've done my tutorial, I've started my training, so right now we are currently training Minmatar Frigate Level 1. It just allows me to get another different type of ship, and this is a nice queue. I am in the Shaven system there, John. If you would like to meet us there, you're more than welcome. And as soon as you get on, we can join you into the voice.
Tim already moved me.
Well, there you are, John. Hello. Say hello to everyone.
Hello.
John was my co-pilot yesterday, and the day before yesterday, and he will be joining me again on our adventures to thwart the evil drifter. Or at least attempt to.
I can find you.
Yes, we're in the Shaven system at the moment. I will send you an invite. Could you just type in your name in the chat for me, please? Thank you, Sean. Yes, so I did an intro to creating your character, what the EVE universe is about, and how it all fits together. I tried to give as much information about a wide variety of topics. Thank you, Sean. I'll try and keep that in mind. It's just a little disorienting when I see the chat and I'm talking. But yes, so we've covered a wide variety of topics very quickly and briefly, just to give you a little bit of a splash, just to get your feet wet in the pools of EVE. Today, our job is to figure out what to do once you've finished the tutorial. You have your ship, you've started your training on some skills. Where do you go from here? Well, one of the easiest and quickest things you can do is check out the agency. Now, the agency is basically your hub in EVE Online for all local things that you can do, and it has a wide range of activities from mining, industrial. You have combat, exploration, current events. So let's pull up a window there. So this is the agency window, and you can see on the left-hand side of the screen on our menu, we have the agency listed as Alt-M shortcut. So that pulls up our agency list. This gives us a tab of suggested combat mining, or specifically a specific type of event to do. And we can see right here up at the top, we have the Capsuleer Day. It's a new event. It ends in 12 days, 9 hours, and 50 minutes. So we can choose to do that and find out more information on that. Thank you, Assassin. I appreciate that. Hopefully I don't put all of you to sleep. We have military career paths. We have exploration, business, industry. Now these guys here are all, they're starting agents. Now agents are your mission runners. The mission runner, or I'm sorry, these agents are where you get missions from, your quests from. In Star Wars Galaxies with Tim, that's like your terminals where you can pick up your, go kill some womp rats, or go create a blaster rifle. In here, they set you on a path, and a lot of the times it chains them together into interesting paths. But they are, the great thing about the career agents is that they're tutorials of the different aspects of EVE. Now, we don't have to go through all of them, which actually we don't have time to go through all of them. There's quite a few. But we have the military path, the industry career path, business, and exploration. Industry kind of covers your mining as well, so that's where that one is. Now, if you look over on the right-hand side of the pop-up, that is an example of the entire universe of Eve. Every single dot is a fully explorable system that it takes a long time to get through. But in your local area, you can see these little stars here. Now, those are all of your local events that you can go see. It looks like in our system, it highlights it up on the left. We have an asteroid belt that we could go and mine if we wanted to. Right over here, we have a military career path agent. Because I haven't traveled far from my starter system, that tells me that there are some military agents that I can go and learn how to take missions from and get my feet wet in that aspect of Eve. Over here I have some resource wars, which are a cosmic anomaly. And now in cosmic anomalies are events that you can find anywhere in space. You warp into them, and you have tasks, you finish them, and you can leave. And they're just more like kind of like a little dungeon in any other game. Resource Wars specifically focus on the industrial, but also the combat aspect of Eve, where you have miners mining, haulers hauling, or back to to wherever they want to go. And then you also have combat guys that want to protect them. And it's a sense of capture the flag, but instead of capturing the flag, you're mining the asteroids. And you have to mine the most amount of asteroids before the enemy either kills you or an opposing team mines it all instead. And there are many different rewards you can get from that. And it's actually a really entertaining event in the game that's on all year round. Just scrolling down, I'm trying to see if there's anything else here. We don't, those are all my suggested things. Now, I'm sure if I click on combat, yeah, as you can see, I clicked on combat tab and it pops up a whole whack of different things here. We got an epic arc agent. So these are like the master missions that you get, that you have to unlock later on in the game. And it takes multiple people doing all specialized tasks to really get those done. Hello, Winter. This is the Alpaca, and I am filling in for Tim. Tim is really busy with work, and as much as he'd love to be here, I'm filling in for him, and he'll be back tomorrow with his usual schedule. Sorry for any confusion. I know it's still last minute. I'm just kind of the backup guy, and hopefully you all either get to know and love me, or you don't, but that's your opinion. I know John loves me, so I don't have to worry about that. He's always going to love me.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, come on. Everyone loves alpacas. We're cute. We're fuzzy.
Uh-huh.
Ah, all right. Well, we also have incursions. Now, incursions are master level raids. The best way I can describe them, you acquire groups of anywhere from 10 to 20 or more pilots, all focusing on a single task. And this is like top tier equipment. I've been playing for many years in the game, and it's still difficult for me to even do. And then we have more resource wars than actual security agents. These ones aren't career agents. These are just local security for specific or for different corporations, which are non-player guilds, and they allow you to go out, kill enemies, or achieve objectives for in-game currency, loot, and all sorts of other things. Yes, this is the Alpaca from Discord.
The only one.
The one and only, my friend. The one and only. Then we get into things like faction warfare. Factional warfare is actually player versus player engagements that span entire constellations within the EVE universe. You choose to vow yourself towards a specific empire of like a non-player character faction and go to war against them to take control points, expand their territory, push forward their ideals and such. Very fun, and any kind of level of character can get into that. You can get roaming fleets of 50 frigates taking out huge groups of guys, or you can just do it on your own, playing by yourself and jumping in with a cruiser or a frigate of different ships of different sizes, and just finding somebody to kill and attack. It's an encouraged player versus player interact. You can't quite make factions, but there are things called corporations. Corporations are guilds, as a sense, for EVE Online, and you're always in one. I covered this a bit in the last tutorial, but I'll say it again. You start off in EVE in a corporation. It's a non-player character corporation. You move on from there, and you can either join an actual player's corporation or create your own. Those corporations then join alliances, and those alliances can fight each other if they so choose to. And there's major wars all over New Eden, from thousands of players fighting them out at once. Ah, there you go, John. You found me. Fantastic. So now that you found me, John, if you don't mind, if anyone here is interested in joining us, please contact or private message John in Discord, and he can help kind of figure out where you are and bring you to us so we can do our events together. He can also join you or invite us to the fleet. If you don't mind that, John.
Let's hope I can do that. I'm still not used to the UI that much.
So that covers kind of combat, and you get mining things, different asteroid belts, resource wars, as I told you, and then some career agents on that. And you can also do regular agents, mission givers, from a variety of corporations just throughout the game, and they go up in level. And then you can actually go and specify what you want. The one I was looking for here are signatures. Now see, this is a solar system view. I'm in Shaven, and you can see that's pulling out. So you got the solar system there, the star in the center, and then we have all the planets and all that stuff outside of it. And now there are 2 unknown signatures in this area. Now unknown signatures require scan probes. You do exploration, and you have to hunt them down, and once you find them, they could be a variety of different things. You have data sites where you have to hack terminals and get the blueprints or the documents out of them, which can be used to build rare items in game. You can find relic sites where you can find ancient technology that will boost your ability to create powerful weapons or other things. You can find combat sites, which will give you a specialized location focused on a specific pirate of that area, which will drop really good loot and lots of bounty incursions for bounty money for your character. And then there's also mining ones where rare ore for that local area of space can be found. No, Winter, EVE Online is not like Stellaris, and I will show you a bit more. Just give me 1 second here. John, do you know what Tim is talking about with the Discord overlay?
I have no idea.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's just skip that for now because I don't want to waste too much time on that. Let's just answer a few of these questions because I'm seeing a lot of them. So what is money like in EVE Online? Well, money is ISK, I-S-K, which, because this is an Icelandic game, that's the Icelandic currency. But in there, it's interstellar credits. It's roughly the translation. Ah, okay, thanks. The game is, and for Assassin there, the game is free to play. but you can have a subscription model. Now the subscription can also be paid for using in-game currency. So it's a really good game if you, and it allows you to advance as much as you want based on how much you want to play it. So you can either pay to have a subscription, which the subscription only limits your ability to train skills for the most part. There are some other limitations, but the main thing is your skills. You can still train a lot of things, but it limits the more advanced specializations. Now, it takes a long time for you to get to those levels, but they are very useful for faction or faction warfare or advanced interstellar battles with Alliance.
Hey guys, sorry, just wanted to jump in for a second.
Hey Tim.
Hey, I made you an overlay in your place. That will actually show Alpaca, so whenever you're streaming, people know.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So all you have to do is right-click the properties on that overlay, change the file name to wherever you save this one, and it should instantly appear on your stream.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
I will apply that.
Yeah, I was inspired. So. All right, carry on. Sorry.
No, not a problem. I very much appreciate that.
All right, cool. See you.
So if everyone can actually just bear with me for just one moment, I will set this up right now so that everyone can experience exactly what Tim did. And you know what? I'm looking at this. This is fantastic. I'm really liking it. So just give me 1 second so I can set this up and everyone can see. John, if you don't mind filling in a bit of the silence, how would you describe to everyone what you and I did after the stream last night, or yesterday?
Yes, John, tell us.
Hello, John.
Don't be shy.
All right, Red, if you want to jump in there and take the silence, then.
Okay. I mean, I can sing a song, but that's about as far as I can go right now.
Okay, you know what? I'll hold off on this, because I don't want to leave the channel with too much silence. So let's just continue, and just keep on working on the streaming. So, getting back to where I was talking about signatures and exploration, but that I'm planning on doing for another stream later on. If everyone likes this and everyone is enjoying my stream, please tell me by the end of the channel, or by the end of the stream, and I'm probably going to be doing a regular segment on a Saturday morning, where you all can join me as the Alpaca, doing various things in various games. But yeah, if you guys just let me know by the end of the stream how you feel, that'd be great. And one of those future streams will be specifically on exploration.
Hello. There we go. Okay.
Hey,
There we go.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Not a problem. That's the Intrepid Dawn, Sean.
So what are y'all up to?
So right now,
Trying to get this together.
yeah, trying to get ourselves together, and that's kind of what I wanted this stream to be. We've created our characters. We've gotten to the EVE Online universe. We have a general idea of what's going on, but now we're stuck. What do we do now? Well, now is the time when we actually dive in and start getting into the nice content, and it works out great because today we have a capsuleer event. It's the anniversary of EVE Online. 15 years it's been in development, and it's still just every day it's increasing in numbers.
Well, I am currently in game, so...
Yes, alright. Well, if you can talk with John, and he will relay our location and invite you to a fleet, that'd be great.
Sure thing.
Thank you. So today's capsuleer event is it can be found in the agency. Now let's actually go in and take a look at that and see what we have in store for us. So you can see right down at the bottom, that's the extra information now that I've clicked on my specific event that I want to join. It gives me my activities that I can participate in to unlock the rewards. So you can complete special agency tasks listed above to unlock the rewards. rewards. We can knock out sleepers. So, defeat enemies in the operation sites, conscientious interruptions, drifter interruptions, or signal interruptions. Those are the names of the 3 different sites you can find. We can defeat 10 enemies and we'll get 10 points towards our rewards. And that is suggested for a single capsuleer. It's also a chain. You can see it says Part 1. Now the Part 1, and that little chain link icon means that when you complete this one, you'll get another one, another challenge, probably more enemies, or maybe a specific enemy, and you'll get more points for it. The other challenge here is Bountiful Prey Part 1, which is also a chain. Now this one gives us, we have to collect 100,000 ISK worth of bounties. So every time we kill an enemy, we will gain a bounty for that, and as soon as we acquire 100,000 ISK worth of that, we will get another 10 points. So we can see up here we have all of our current points, and we have all of our rewards. So we have 25 points for 1 times Wings of Victory fireworks. Celebrations of victory and notable triumphs are often accompanied by glorious displays of fireworks. The Wings of Victory pyrotechnic is one of the most striking and justly famed for its clever use of micro-rockets to achieve its memorable effect. So if we unlock that tonight, then that could be a very, very nice exiting for the stream. So hopefully we can get that far, and we don't just die, which in EVE is always a possibility. And then getting up into the higher rewards, we have, for 400 points, we have 1 agency support drop. So if I left click on that, compounds within the agency identifier are being seeded into the target locations identified by the mysterious network ahead of the sponsored operations. Entities occupying the target sites often collect the agency support drops themselves, even if they realize that they must be important. The agency's novel method of supporting capsuleer operations is thought to be a much of an experiment as it is an incentive for freelance pilots to take up the public contracts. This kit contains 1 dose of a random agency booster compound and has a chance to contain one of the following. So we have a chance to unlock one of these boosters. Now, a booster is a drug that you can take in-game that enhances your character. Now, your character is in direct contact with your ship. You are in a Matrix-esque little egg, a capsule, and you're plugged in. So everything we see is we're actually experiencing it through the mind of our character. The sensors, the ship's hull and engines are all living aspects of our own body because we're so connected to it. So these boosters, by enhancing us, enhance our ship. It enhances the speed, it enhances our fire rate, our damage, or our ability to suck every ounce of capacitor out of our bags. So really useful things to give that extra. So then we got this supply drop, which is the Advanced Exsense Consciousness Cerebral Accelerator. Now that gives you, it's an injector. It injects into your brain and gives you a boost to your all of your attributes. Now these attributes denote your training. So as I mentioned in the first video, the training in EVE is a lot different than regular experience gaining in pretty much every other game out there. In other games, you kill something, you get experience. You kill something else, you get more experience. You take a pie and you transfer it to somebody else and you get more experience. In here, you literally right-click on a skill. So just right here, I can right-click on my skill and I can train it. I can add level Q to the queue, or level 4 to the queue, but unfortunately right now my queue is full, so I can't. And then it just ticks down. We have times, and the times are dictated by your attributes. Now this is real life time, so if I turned off the computer and I walked away, this will still tick down. I don't have to be online, which is great for people who can only join in once now, or once in a while. They can jump on at any time for a limited amount of time, and just be as effective as anyone else. And this accelerator enhances the ability for your attributes, which gives you decreased training time, which is one of the most valuable aspects of Eve. Anything that can decrease that training time is going to be amazing. His skills don't generally just train for a few hours, or 10 hours like in that one, but there are advanced skills that take 30 days, 60 days, sometimes almost 120 or more for the higher tier skills. So, I mean, you think about it, that's 120, like 60 or so days of non-stop training for one single skill. Now that skill could be extremely important and give you a huge benefit in the game. So it is worth it. And by the time you get up to that point, you have access to these kind of accelerators that will help you out. Then lastly, we have this reward here. I'm pretty sure it's not the only reward. I think this ladder continues. In the past events, it expanded beyond the visible spectrum of what we can see. But so this one is the Geolution CAX. It's a palm-sized capsule, and it's an implant. Now, implants plug into your brain, and then they give you specific bonuses. So we got the, let's see here, this one here, it gives us an increase for our velocity, how fast our ship can go, an increase to our shield capacity, as well as increase our willpower attribute. So it makes things like velocity or navigation skills or gunnery skills train just that much faster. So extremely valuable item. So that's kind of what I want to do today. I'm thinking that we will tackle one of these two challenges and see how it goes. Now, this came out today. I've yet to be in one. I've played them before, so I have an idea. So the idea is that we're gonna learn how to tackle this as a new player. And hopefully, oh, we got Shav, we got John, and we got Anatoly all in here. So hopefully the four of us are strong enough together as a team to take these challenges on.
And it's always Red November, by the way.
Yes.
Okay.
There's no Red November available, so.
Not a problem. So, considering you are now in the channel there, Red, please introduce yourself to everyone.
Oh, hi, I'm Red November. I'm the community organizer for the channel.
Thank you.
I don't think much more needs to be said there.
No, that is perfect. Okay, so getting on with the Capsuleer day. The first thing we need to do is we have to figure out what we're up against. Now, drifters are a unique entity in the game. They manage to give out a full spectrum of damage across all of the different resistances that you can get in the game, but they also are able to resist against those same damages back. So they're just as tough against everything, which makes building for that very hard. Oh, I just got an invite. Well, thank you, whomever that is, but we will not join that today. Corporations can be another day's lesson. So we want to open our fitting window to see how we can fit our ship to be able to actually combat these drifters. Now, right now we're in the starter ship. It's very bare bones. We got 2 high slots with a civilian Gatling pulse laser, a mining laser, which will be completely useless in what we need to do, a civilian afterburner, an empty mid slot, and 2 empty low slots. Not very effective, so I think the first thing we'll do is we're going to upgrade our ship. So I've been training skills since our last stream, and we now have the ability to use Armour, frigates, and destroyers. Now, destroyers are the next level beyond frigates. Now, what we have here is a starting Corvette. The next ship is a frigate, so we can take a look at our ship trees in here. This gives you an overview of all the different ships in Eve. You can kind of find out what you're trained for, how well the training is going, and what you need to unlock the different ones. So let's take a look at our Armour Empire. And underneath the Armour Empire, we have our starting Corvette. Now you have a roll bonus for this starting Corvette. It has a 20% reduction in energy, small energy turret activation cost, a 10% bonus to small energy turret damage, 15% bonus to weapon disruptor effectiveness, and 8% bonus to all armor resistances. So it's very useful to keep those new characters alive. It's actually a really good set of rolls. Then we get into the frigates. Now the frigates are light craft. I mean, it's just like naval terminology. If you have any idea about that, then this is really intuitive. But the frigate is a lighter ship, more used as scouts. But each one has their own specific role. So we have ones that reduce or improve the remote sensor dampener, which decreases the ability for anyone else to target you. We have turret damage and propulsion jamming to slow other people down and keep them in place. We have an exploration ship, which is great to look at. We have this one here is for repairing and for turret damage. This one uses drones instead of turrets. Those are little pets that you can use and send out. And then this guy here is used for armor repair. So he is your healer in the frigate tree line. And each one goes up into a Tech 2 alternative that will specialize you in those specific tasks. Now in the Amarr tree, I have unlocked destroyers, which are our next tier up. Now destroyers are, just like in the real life, gunboats, and specifically they're light vessels with lots of armaments meant to destroy the other smaller frames, scouts. They're quick, they're agile, and they have enough damage to keep themselves, or with enough offense to keep themselves at bay against frigates as well as some cruisers. So assuming that everyone will still be in a frigate at the time of starting off, we'll take a look at one of the Amarr frigates to figure out what one's going to suit our needs and how we're going to fit this up. So, you know what? I like the look of the Punisher. I think that sounds apt to what we want to achieve tonight. We want to punish these drifters, and that is a really nice looking ship. You look at that. That's a spaceship. It's got the gold chrome, nice curves, but it looks mean, almost like it's baring its teeth at us. So I like it. I think that's what we're going to go with. So let's take a look at this Punisher. What does it have that we need? It has a 10% reduction in small energy turret activation cost. Well, that's what we're skilled for at the moment, so that's fantastic. And it gives us addition to armor resistances. Now those bonuses are per skill level. So at level 3, which we are, that's 3 times each of those things. So we got 30% and 12%. If we were at level 5, we'd get even more. Then looking at the actual ship itself, we have all of these attributes that kind of give you, and it can get very daunting for any kind of new player to look at. But the basic thing is that most of these are all going to be the same for just about everyone of the frigate lines in the Tech 1 tree. The major differences are your cargo hull capacity, how much that has. That changes. Your hit points. So we have 500 hit points, 350 hit points for our shields, and we have 450 hit points for our structures. That's not too bad. That's pretty good for, well, it's actually really good for a frigate. Now, the Punisher is actually known as one of the hardier frigates out there in the Amarr tree line, so it works out well for that. It gives us a targeting range of 25 kilometers, so we know that's the upper limit of that we can attack an enemy. So we have to make sure our weapons are within that, or else they won't be any use. And then we got our speed and our warp speed. Then we also got our fitting. Now our fitting is what we can fit all of our modules into. We have 4 high slots used for offensive weaponry. We have 2 medium slots used for various equipment, anything electronic warfare can fit in those. You have any kind of shield buffing can fit in those slots, and anything kind of disrupts speed can also fit there. Your low slots either buff your ship, buff an attribute of your weapons, or can fit a lot of your armor repairs and that kind of stuff. And then we have rigs, which are basically the implants for your ship. Now we're restricted by our CPU and our power grid, so that's going to be our limiting factor of what we can fit in here. We'll check our requirements. Well, we have all the requirements needed. We can fly this ship. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and buy it. So let's take a look at the market. Now I know this is spreadsheet simulator, there are lots of windows and lots of information, and it can be the learning curve in the game is basically an uphill, slightly curved, like a straight up cliff face, curved slightly back on you. And but once you get over that edge, the game opens up, and the possibilities to do what you want to do in the game are pretty much endless. So we have the Punisher. We have one in system for 1.2 million. That's a little expensive. And we have one system away for 460,000, and then one for 420,000. So you know, I'm going to sort this based on price because I want to save my money. I don't have much. I'm new. So we have one 3 jumps away. The closest one jump away, and it's 460,000. So I think I'm going to buy that one. It's close enough, and I'm not going to save that much more, and I'd rather not have to jump very far. So we'll buy that one there. So there we go. Lost the money. Got our ship. So let's head over and pick that up. Alright guys, are you ready for a little trip?
November had to go for a minute.
Sorry?
November had to go for a minute.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm sure he will be back shortly, so we'll just proceed over to the next system and get our ship. I would, or did you need any in-game currency to kind of match along with it? You should have the same skills. You should be able to buy the same thing, or do you want to stay in your current Corvette?
Well, I would currently already bought a destroyer, so I'm waiting for the skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's right-click on in space. We're gonna select the Stargate, and we're gonna warp to Pentagram. So that's where I know where we bought from. But we can also check our assets. So if we press Alt-T, we can open up our personal assets, and it shows that we have our assets in 2 locations. We have some Veldspar that we mined the night before in Shaven, this system. But we also have our new ship sitting in Peregrine, or Pentagram. Man, I am horrible at pronouncing these system names, by the way. So I'd be impressed if anyone can. A lot of these names are quite interesting to read. So anyways, we're going to right-click on that, and we're going to set a destination. So that gives us a better idea of where we're going. And as you can see on our overhead display, one of these has changed yellow, and that is the Stargate to that system. So that's where we're headed. So we're going to right-click, and we're going to warp to 0.
Warp drive active.
And if you'd like to follow along, John, that'd be great.
Okay.
So I am keeping track of the chat, so if any of you guys have questions or any comments, feel free to, and I'll try to keep up with it as much as possible.
Oh wow.
What?
I bought a blueprint instead of an actual ship.
Ah. A little expensive?
Oh, so that, man. Yes, it was 9 million.
Aye. Well, you can turn that around and sell it. Not a problem.
Yeah.
So I can transfer you some in-game money to fix
It's
that.
fine. It's fine.
Alright. So, right here we're at the Stargate. And this is my tiny little ship here. I mean, that is my home. Oh, thank you, Sean. This Stargate here is what's going to get us to our next system. And these 2 behemoths floating around there are actually NPCs. that are guarding the gate from enemies. So we're in the Amarr Empire, so these are Amarr battleships. And this is an actual playable ship. So I can just quickly pull that up for you so you guys can see what I'm talking about right here. Oh, so yeah, this is the Armageddon. You can see, there it is, the Armageddon. It is another one of the Amarr's beautiful ships. Just, I've always been a huge fan of the gold trim. It just looks, I don't know, it's so royal. I mean, technically that is what they are. It's the Royal Amarr Empire, so I would expect nothing less. And then there's always the fun skins that you can put on them. We've got Hunter's Quiver here, which gives you a nice little purple butt there, which is cute. We got the Purity of the Throne, which brings you all white, which is not too bad. What else we got? We got Imperial Julie. This was for one of the old events. It gives you some gold and purple purple trimming on there. One of my favorite skins, actually. But even just the basic. I mean, you look at this. You look at this ship, and you can just look at all the detail on it. So I'm actually going to close that so you can take a look at the real ship that's floating around. I'm just going to find it. Zoom out a bit. Here we go. So let's locate. Oh, that's another frigate there floating around. Let's see if I can find that. That NPC. Where is he? There he is, the Amarr Customs General. Look at. So you can see his turrets sitting on the bottom of his ship. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit here. Those are giant pulse lasers meant for up close, heavy damage. So let's jump through. Just got bumped by John. Thank you, John.
Anytime.
Alright, so let's jump through. Let's get to the next system. So we are. We've just tumbled through subspace and entered into the new system. So at this point, we want to try and locate the station that we need everything on. So I could open up my assets and I could right click on the actual location of the station that I want, and I could just warp right to it there. I could right click on anywhere in space and find stations and locate the one that I'm looking for, but it's a little bit more daunting because there's all the stations in the system and there's quite a few. Or I can look for my overhead since I set that destination here, and I have a yellow marker here. So I can actually select that, and you can see it's shown up in my HUD menu up here. And it gives me the option to dock, warp within, or align to. And it gives me a little bit of information about it. So I can even kind of scroll out, and you should see, where is it here? You can see all these little icons that are floating around. And those are all relate to your HUD overview, so you can see them. You can actually, if I manage to find one, there we go. So a mobile depot, this one here, you can see that that's somebody Russian that has put that up there. It highlights what I'm selecting on the screen, and it gives you the description of the name, so you can actually find what you're looking for. So I can do that with the Amarrian station, try to find that. And it's right over here. See, it was hiding behind another one, so I couldn't quite see it. So there it is, the Ministry of Internal Order Assembly Plant. Welcome back, Winter. So let's warp to this station here. We're going to warp to 0. Now that means we're getting as close as we physically can to the station, allowing us to dock sooner. But we could alternatively choose to warp into 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers, or even all the way up to 100 kilometers away from the station. There it is, the Amarr Navy, or the the Ministry of Internal Order Assembly Plant. And it is a very nice station, if I do say so myself. And you can kind of see the scale of the size. I mean, like I'm looking at my ship here, and I just zoom out this way, and you can't even see my ship anymore before it gets that. And you compare it to that planet that's beside it. I mean, that is a massive station. It's so massive that it can dock these ships in it. And there was a ship that was right above me. He's an Tyra. So, darn, he just docked, so I couldn't see him. And that was another player ship, and that was actually a really large hauling ship. So hopefully I can find a few more people, and I can take a look at them for you, so you guys can see a few other options of ships.
Docking permission
So let's dock.
requested. Docking request accepted.
Yeah, there's a good amount of ships you can choose from.
Oh yeah, and even the list on the market, you might even get having a filtered list. You just got to make sure if you open up your regional market, one of the things you should do right off the hop when you're in the game is you want to go to the cogwheel up here in your market. So the market can be accessed through Alt-R. Right up by the search engine, you have a little cogwheel. So if you choose that, you want it. It's normally checked off as show only available. So if an item isn't being sold locally near you, you won't be seen. So this really opens up a lot more options to you. It makes it difficult for newer players, just because, which is why they leave it checked on, because you try to buy something but it's not there. I like it when it's toggled off, because I can see what kind of options I have to and what I can strive towards later on if I don't have it locally near me. So as I'm docked in the station, I get a new little overhead window, and that shows me all my station services. So I have, I can check out my loyalty point store. So this gives me all my where I can buy all my rewards if I'm doing missions for the Ministry of Internal Order, which owns this station. I can check out the insurance on my ship. So now in Eve, everything that you have is made by another player in the game, other than your body and a few things like skill books, original blueprints, so you can make copies of them, or you can invent new ones, and a few commodities are seeded into the game. Other than that, everything in the game is built up and created, crafted, designed by players in Eve, which means that everything is destructible as well, and you don't get a try again in Eve. You die in Eve, your physical body gets spawned back into a system, or into your station, where you have your where you can find a clone bay, and you're relatively fine. But if you have any implants, or if you have, and the ship that you're currently in, and all the items that were in your cargo hull of that ship, your weapons, your modules, all fall as loot for that other player or NPC that killed you. And that loot can be picked up by anyone, so even the person that killed you may not even get to it soon enough to loot it. And it really gives a sense of loss in the game, which can cause you to get disgruntled and very discouraged very quickly on. But it is a nature of Eve that has to be overcome, and it adds so much more to the game to have it. So we have insurance, which, being a small ship, I don't need. We have faction warfare, so this is where we can pledge to fight again for the Amar Empire against the Minmatar Republic and their allies, the Galante Federation. It gives us a list of systems that we can join and go and fight for. It gives you capture statuses for systems, and you can see that the Amar is currently kicking butt. So this term they're actually going to get a lot of bonuses for that, which is really good for them. We have bounty offices, so you can actually add bounties to other players in the game. And just to give you an idea, so John, tell us, how much money did you start off in the game with?
Like 5,000, I think, around there.
Yeah, about 5,000 ISK. And that's your starting amount. This guy here, this is the top most wanted player. This is a player character. in the entire game has a bounty on his head of 230 billion with a B credits. Huge. Now, the way the bounties are distributed, if you were to kill him, you wouldn't get the whole thing. If you killed him, it would be the amount of loss that he makes you receive. So if you killed him in a noob frigate with nothing on it, you'd get what that was worth. But if you managed to kill him in a Titan, massive, the biggest ship in the game, you might just get all of that, or more, or up to that. Then there's the industry tree, where you can figure out how you can set up blueprints, build new devices or ships from ore that you've mined. We have our fitting window, which we are going to be going through after we get their new ship. And we have our regional market, reprocessing plant for turning all that ore into valuable minerals. We have our repair shop where we can repair our ship, but for a cost. And we have a character customization where we can choose our character and our physical character, just like the picture up here that I showed you at the beginning of the stream, and change their outfit, change the way they look. We also have our agents. So these are all the agents that I have at the station that I can run missions for. You can talk to this guy here, a level 1 agent. He's a security agent. And if I talk to him, it'll pop up a window and he gives me a mission. He wants me to do a mission called Break Their Will. He gives me a description of this mission, which I won't go over today because we want to try and get into this event. And it gives you a description, a summarized version of the description with your rewards, how many bonus points you're going to get for the loyalty store, the location, and so on. And you can accept or decline or delay it, so you can keep that offer there. So we might keep that offer there for another day. And then we got the higher level of missions that we have to earn their favor before we can accept missions from them. We have all the guests. These are everyone that's currently docked at this station. And then we have offices. So player corporations, so guilds, can rent offices at stations to promote their guild, or to allow them to use specialized hangars and holdings if they're operating in this local system. Oh, no, Senator, Echo Winter, sorry, I am not trying to replace Tim. I am merely a cohabiter on this channel, and looking to start up a Saturday morning stream, depending on how well these go, with or in the Intrepid Dawn channel. Probably continuing doing the EVE Online, and as soon as people start wanting more, we'll swap over to a different game, or we can change it up every now and then, depending on what everyone wants. So right now we want our hangars. Let's get into our hangar here. And there's our ship, right there in my ship hangar. So I want to assemble the ship, because right now it's packaged down, and it gives me the name of Captain Katarn's Punisher. So we're gonna...
Hey, Alpaca. Yeah, one guy's asking about the, one guy's asking me, what did you, do other players in the game add to the bounty, or is it just, from actions from the vendors?
Sorry, John, I'm having trouble hearing you. Would you be able to just try and turn up your mic?
Is that better?
That is, yes, thank you.
Okay. Yes, one guy is asking if do other players in the game add to the bounty, or is it just from actions against NPCs?
That would be all against other players who have an issue with that particular man. He's probably pissed off quite a few guys and girls across the universe by scamming them, or blowing their stuff up, or declaring war on their corporations and destroying their assets. They feel they want to pay for it and make sure that he gets his at some point.
Ah, okay.
And So that gives you the option of being a bounty hunter in the game too. Now, be warned, there's a reason why these guys have a large bounty on them. You can actually go through the bounty tree and take a look at some of the. So right now we're on the top most wanted, but you can find lower ones. So these are different bounty hunters. So this guy here, when I am in space, he is a member of the My Wife's Sons Corporation, which is nice name, and he's claimed 47 billion in ISK from killing other pilots for their bounties. And he's made a total of 2,396 kills. That's impressive. I am actually quite impressed with that. So that's another role in the game. You can be a bounty hunter, or you can be a pirate. You can give the bounty hunters a reason to come hunting you. And you can put bounties on corporations and bounties on alliances. Goon Swarm happens to be one of the higher ones. They are, they've definitely earned their reputation for that. So let's take a look at our ship. So we've assembled it, but we're not in it yet. We're still in our little new player Corvette. So the first thing I want to do is I want to think about, should I take all my stuff off of it? And it's all civilian stuff, and I might be able to use it, so I'm going to take all of these modules. I'm just going to drag and drop off of my ship, make sure there's nothing in my cargo, and there's my little Alpaca light pet that I wanted to keep with me, so I'm going to bring that with us on the mission. So I've emptied this ship out. I have 0 out of 115 meters cubed of cargo bay, and I have 0 out of my 5 meters cubed of my drone bay. So I have nothing in my ship and no modules. So I can effectively leave and just ignore the ship now. Or I can try and you want to sell a larger ship, or keep it for another day if you need a secondary ship for some reason. So I've made this new ship active, and there it is. So that's us right there now. We have our new Punisher. It's looking great. Oh, see ya, Echo. So, with this Punisher, we're going to want to look at our fitting now for this. We have our 4 high slots, our 2 medium slots, and our 5 low slots. So we want to kind of fit this to help us out in this mission. Thank you, Winter. Thank you very much.
Wow, you have the same ship I do.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Alright, so let's fit this ship up. So let's figure out what we actually want. Now, one great thing about this fitting window is that we can simulate this ship. Now there's a little button here, it's called Enter Simulation Mode. If you click this, it makes a simulation of your ship, and you can actually fit modules on it based on what's available. So we have all of the hardware that's available to fit on this hull in the game. So right here we have the filter hull restrictions, so we can't see anything that wouldn't physically fit on this ship. Let's focus on our high slots first. And I also want to make sure that I have skills to use them, so I want to see things that I can't use. And I'm also going to select the filter that my total CPU and power grid, how much I have left. The only things that are going to show up are things that are going to be able to fit in those with that limitation. So we'll get rid of that as well. So right now, looks like, why aren't we seeing any weapons? Is interesting. For my high slots. Interesting. Alright, let's take these skills off just to make sure, because I just want to find out why I can't see what I want to look for. So I have energy lasers, energy turrets, and that's what I am skilled for. At least I should be skilled for. Let's take a quick look. So we got gunnery. We have our gunnery skills. Oh, so we don't actually have energy turrets trained. Oh, I'm surprised. Usually that is one of those things that you kind of get right out of the store, but we have that in the next system over, I'm going to quickly buy that. We'll rip over there. It'll take about 5 minutes to train that up because it's a really low level skill, and that'll be no problem. So let's buy some pulse lasers now. This ship is fast. It gets up close, right? That's what we want. So we're going to go with our pulse lasers, which are close range lasers, and we're going to go with let's see here. So we have one thing that we can do, if this seems a little daunting for anyone that's new, and even for me right now, it's just looking at this, I'm like, what? So we can actually pull up this really useful tool, and it's called the compare tool. The compare tool allows us to compare this weapon with other weapons, highlight specific stats, and kind of figure out what's going to be better for us. Now, I don't want to do this fully right now, just because I don't want to waste time on that. But what we're going to do is we're going to buy a bunch of dual light pulse lasers tier 1. I know that I don't need much with this because I've already used that. I only need the 17 minutes for that training. So that's great. So I'm going to buy some of these. Check out the market details on those. I have 50 in the system, so that's perfect. They're 30,000 each. And how many turret slots do I have? So I have 4 turret hardpoints, which works out because I have 4 high slots. So we'll buy 4 of those weapons. And we want to focus on our ammunition for that. So our ammunition for lasers, they use charged crystals, and you don't need to reload them. And the Tech 1 variants never run out, which is really nice. They're frequency crystals, sorry, is what they're called. So I'm gonna get standard frequency crystals. I'm choosing a small turret. So I have a bunch of different options for me, and each one gives me some different abilities. And for crystals with the lasers, you have mainly the differences: the optimal range and how much capacitor is required to fire them. Because there's no projectiles; it's all energy. So how much energy is used, and how far these things can actually fire. And it's actually based off of wavelengths. If you look, you got gamma, infrared, micro. So you can kind of see the longer wavelengths, like X-rays, ultraviolet, or X-rays, gamma rays. They are going to be, if you look, 25 reduced optimal range, and X-rays are the same thing, reduced optimal rays. Reduced again, because they're all short wavelengths. You get the longer ones like radio, they're going to be increased optimal range. So I think we're going to go with just, we'll buy standard. That's your run-of-the-mill flat. It just reduces the capacitor. It doesn't change the amount of distance from your weapons. So we'll get some market details on those. Looks like we have some back end shaven. So we'll buy them there, since I know that's where that skill book's located. And I have 4 turrets, so we want 4 of these to fill one for every single turret. And just to show you how to change crystals, because you can do that. Oh, okay, Shav. As soon as we're ready, we'll jump out and we'll join you, and we'll all run over to that event. We're just going to buy some multi-frequency. Because multi-frequency are the shortest wavelengths. They give you the most amount of reduced optimal range, but the most amount of increased damage. So we can test that out as well. So we should have, let's see here, let's check out the location. So we got a bunch in the next system over, right where we were, so I'm going to buy another 4 there, get that done. Now we want an Afterburner, because we want to be fast. So let's take a look at our modules. We're going to go to propulsion, Afterburners, and these are all in newtons, meganewtons and newtons. And we're just going to get our standard Tech 1. Actually, if we go for each meganewton one, we got 1 meganewton, 10 meganewton, 100, and 10,000. they're all for their different classes of ships. Frigates and destroyers are efficient with a 1 meganuke. Cruisers, battle cruisers are for 10. Battleships for 100, and 10,000 is for like dreadnoughts and all that. We might actually be able to use, if you look, we actually have enough power grid, enough CPU, and enough capacitor to run those. Probably not with all of our weapons firing, so we'll go back and we'll buy that one Afterburner. Slightly better than that civilian one that we decided to get rid of, and that's again back in that original system that we started in. It's a little overpriced. You saw that warning come up, but I'm just gonna kind of go past that and just get right into the adventure here. The next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I have enough defenses to keep myself alive. So we're gonna go to hull and armor, and because Almar really like to use hull armor damage as a mitigation against any kind of incoming damage. So you have active repairing, where you have repairers that actually generate HP back for you, or you have things like plates and hardeners that increase your resistance or increase the amount of hull you have, but don't actively do anything else. They're more of a passive defense. So it's always good to kind of go over the both. So I'm going to get a damage control. It's one of the really basic items that every ship should get when they're new. Damage control, you can only fit one at a time, but it gives you grants to bonuses across all your shields, your hull, and your armor. You can see that's a thing. For your hull. That's 30% across the board for everything. Now we know that the drifters, as I mentioned, have damage across the board, so this really works out well. We got EM, 30% for EM, 30% for thermal, 30% for kinetic, and 30% for explosive damage. So this is really going to help us out. It even does 10% for across the board for armor, and 7.5% across the board for shield. So I'm going to buy one of those. Then I'm going to buy an armor repairer so that I can actually actively regenerate hull or armor as I'm getting attacked. So let's take a look. We got our small armor repairer 1. Do I have the requirements for that? I do not. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's take a look here. Do we have a market detail? We're going to buy that. Back in the starting system again, so we'll get one of those. And I can still actual armor repairs, and there's none close. Well, since we can't really train it right now, we'll just skip that one, and we will jump up to, let's see, armor plates. Let's increase the amount of hull we have. I think a 200 millimeter armor plate should be enough, and we have all the requirements for it, so that's good. So we can actually probably go a little bit bigger. Now, armor plates will decrease your speed, so it might not be the greatest idea to do that, but we will do it nonetheless, because what's not a little bit of risk? So I'm going to go for 400 millimeter steel plate. Let's double check that I have the requirements for that. I still do, so that's good. Just buy that one. Oh, and there are none in the local system. So again, this is one of the issues, you know, you got to have a good plan ahead of time. Clearly I didn't look at the market right now, so you know what, it won't take long for me to train up that armor repairer. Let's just stick with that and see how we do. So we can exit our simulation. Yes, we're done with our simulation, so we have nothing on our ship at the moment because we never fit anything. We'll take a look at our personal assets, and everything is either in this system or in the starting system that we were in. So we can jump to that next station. So I'm going to undock here. And I'm going to quickly warp over to my other station here that I bought stuff at. Grab those weapons, and we'll jump back to the original system so we can equip the rest of our stuff. How you doing there, John?
You know, just traveling around, getting some stuff.
Yeah, doing about the same as me, eh?
Yep, I'm getting some microwave modules. That's all they got at my station, so.
Docking permission requested.
Yep.
Docking request accepted.
Oh, and that's one of the things too, right? So you could, in the game, you could choose to purchase a whole whack of those and move them to a station that doesn't have any. And who knows, maybe somebody like us, who didn't really check the market ahead of time, which we really should have, would try to buy them and be, you know, they're on a station that we wanted to buy them on. Fantastic. So now you've made a profit there. So moving those materials around to different stations will actually help you.
Nah, that's too easy.
So let's open up our fitting window and open up our inventory for the station. We have our 4 light pulse lasers, so we're going to throw those in. Now, I don't have the skill for them, so it keeps giving me a little error here, but that's okay. But I can still fit them. So now they're all on my ship, so we'll undock. We'll head to the next system over to get all the rest of our stuff.
Warp drive active.
I really do like this new ship. Punisher was always one of my favorite frigates for the Empire. Just the stylization of it was always just so fascinating. They've done many iterations of it over the years. They've gone from a really blocky texture at the beginning to this just like, I just love how the light reflects off the metal.
Yeah, it's a good ship. So,
Yeah.
what are we going to do when this is all done?
So we'll do that. We'll jump into that event, see if we survive, and then learn from our mistakes and continue on. Because even though we just started, we still should have a chance to be able to do this event.
Warp drive active.
So the agency is showing me that where's the closest one? Actually, you know what? I don't think it shows that there. It should show it up in my overview. Let's see if I can find this. I think I've accidentally set mine to not show. Oh, I forgot. They don't come from the overview. They come up on your scanners. So we're gonna open up my probe scanner, which has a large window here. So in the Shaven system, we have all these anomalies. So cosmic signatures and cosmic anomalies. Anomalies are ones you can just warp to yourself. The cosmic signatures, you need to scan them down. Now, as this event is obviously a celebration, these we are going to look for an anomaly that will be listed as the same kind of sites that the event is set. So there's none in this system. We'll have to jump to another system to look. But that's not a problem.
Docking
It gives us
permission
some time to
requested.
train up
Docking
those skills
request
before we
accepted.
jump in.
Okay, well I finally got my like dual light pulse lasers. That's nice.
That is nice. Alright, so I've got my Afterburner. I've got my damage control. I've got my standard crystals that I just put in there, and I'm going to put my my multi-frequency into my cargo bay, so that way I can change them out in space. Now I want to quickly throw my skills that I got into the queue, so we can get these things going. So let's just get the energy first. Make sure that's at the top of the queue, because we don't want to wait very long to get that done. And then we're going to throw in the armor repair just after that. Now,
And how much did that cost you?
everything? Let's see. Now, mind you, I bought a new ship. I bought a bunch of skills, some overpriced stuff. So far it's cost me about 1 million ISK in total, I'd say. But it's not needed. I know this is a little bit more of a more powerful event, so I kind of want to get something new. So you guys already seen my Corvette, just to freshen it up a bit. So I didn't have to sink that money into it. We could have gone as we were and just to try it out, but I wanted to get something a little bit newer for you guys to take a look. No, well, somebody donated a large amount of ISK to Tim Katarn's our character on the first stream. He gave us a nice big whopping 25 million. So we're gonna put that to good use and try to buy anything we need. But I'm trying to keep the prices and the stuff pretty low, so that way we can keep it within the realm of usability for any kind of new player coming. Good night, Assassin. Thanks for staying on here with us. Appreciate it. Alright, so let's take a look at where that repair went. Did I buy one? No, I didn't end up buying one, that's why. Okay, so we should be fine. We'll count down that few minutes. 14 minutes there.
So where was that armor repair?
So, for that armor repair, let's take a look at the regional market. Red November, the tutorial missions that you start off with, and it will lead you to a station with career agents. Those career agents are a very, very useful way to learn about the game as well as gain a lot of ISK. There's also an epic arc agent called from the Sisters of Eve, an NPC corporation that's designed for new players, and it brings them from their first frigate through to a destroyer into their first cruiser, and it gets them enough money to be able to afford all of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
but here,
different.
you know what, John, I'm gonna give you a bit of money just so you can get yourself on there. Or not John, I'm sorry, Red. Or is he not in our group anymore? No, he's not.
No.
For shame. Dropping the ball on us, Red. You should be in here in this fleet with us. So let's take a look at the regional market for that armor repair. So we got equipment, hull and armor repairs. Where are they? There they are. Small. Now, let's go to details here. We want. Why can't I see that? There we go. Armor repair level 1. Is there anything close by? There's 2 jumps away in Ammar. We have. Let's see if there's any other ones that are pretty close. There's one that's a little expensive. Trying to find if there's any close by that are half decent price. They're all pretty much in Ammar, so you know what? We'll just have to go to Ammar to buy it. 2 jumps away, we can check out.
That's
those
where I am.
systems. Oh well, there you go. I'll buy one there. Perfect. So now that I bought that, we'll set our waypoint to Ammar, and we're gonna go check it out. So let's go warp to the Ashab gate.
Warp drive active.
So you can see, because I selected that one agency mission, it's already popped up a little info in this top right hand corner here that kind of allows me to keep track of what I'm doing. This is the 100,000 ISK worth of bounties for the agency, part 1, and it allows me to keep track of how much I'm earning as I'm going. And as you guys can see, there is a hauler that just jumped in, and he is going through the gate, so we should probably join him. And anyone who's watching, again, if you want to ask any questions or if there's anything that you want to know about Eve, while we're trying to get ourselves fitted so we can set our course to this event, feel free to ask it in chat, and I'll try to answer and keep up with all of them as best I can. One thing I forgot to mention in the game is you can actually hear it. I don't know if you can fully hear it, but there's music playing in the background. It might be a little low for everyone to hear it really well, but the music does change depending on what you're doing. So right now we're just kind of drifting through space. We're jumping through Stargates. It's a very nice ambiance to it. It's just easy, relaxing music. When we enter combat, you'll be able to hear her hiccup. You'll know action's coming, and just keep an eye out or an ear out for that. I'll point out again when we get there, but you get some really nice tracks going on here. This is all Eve original music that they've written. Fantastic scores. It's kind of like a atmospheric techno, but
Warp drive active.
it is it has its place in my heart. I do quite enjoy it. So Amarr, this specific station we're going to is Amarr 8 Orias, the Emperor Family Academy. This is one of the largest trade hubs in the Amarr Empire. There are many trade hubs all across New Eden. Jita, Wrens, these are systems, and each one has, you can look in our local chat, this one has 278 people in this chat right now, and that's everyone in our system. That's a lot of people in that system right now. You kind of want to keep that local chat minimized though, because the trade hubs, they got a lot of spam, and you can see that there's a guy in here that's orange. He has a bounty on him, so we can actually he has kill rates too, so we can take a look at that. See what he's sitting in. He's sitting in a Ferox battle cruiser. That's a Caldari one. It's really nice. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I will adjust those right now. Hopefully that fixes that issue. So let's jump into this station here
Docking permission request.
and
Docking request
get our
accepted.
armor repaired. Thanks, Lucian. Sorry, I didn't see that in time to make note, but I did see Tim's suggestion as well. Hopefully that fixed it. I did change them slightly. Just let me know if everything sounds better. So in system, or in the station now, so I'm just going to jump in, get my armor repairer on there, and get it all ready to go. So there we go, armor repair. Just a little, eh? Okay. Unfortunately, my mic is as high as it can go. I'm trying to get it a little bit closer to my mouth, but I turned down the music a little bit more. To, hopefully that'll help. I'm trying not to yell though. It is quite late here. It's 11, closing at 10:30, and there's little Alpacas trying to get their night's sleep in. So, trying to do my best to keep the excitement down.
That's too bad.
So now I've equipped it, my armor repair. I should be fully fitted to try and tackle these tasks. I might have to warp out, or we might have to warp out multiple times, but it is the nature of the game. You know, you just gotta dive in and check it out. So while we're waiting for these skills to kind of finish up so we can actually use them and get everyone in one place. Perfect, thanks Tim. We'll take a step outside, because one thing I actually really like about this Amarr trade hub, which is nice, is that one, you can see the station. You can see a lot of people kind of floating around about it, and they might try and shoot me. It is a PvP universe in here. You can see a whole variety of different ships. So let's just stop my ship here. Oh, see, you can see a notification. All criminals to the Mar Empire. There was somebody who was going to be shot at if he didn't leave. So there's some guy here that really isn't being liked by the Amar Empire. So we have, there we go, Concord. So this is the police of New Eden. They come in and they don't quite defend you. It's more of they punish the people who hurt you. It's the best way. They're not going to protect you, and they're not going to make sure that you survive. You will probably die, but they're going to make sure that the other person doesn't get away. At least in higher security space. Oh yeah, thanks, Lucian. I appreciate the understanding. I am in the basement compared to my house, when my little one's up at the very top floor, but the vents seem to echo quite a bit. So I'm going to see if I can fix that too, just so that way I can speak a little bit louder for you guys in the future. So the Concord battleship is just flying around here, kind of doing his patrol, making sure no one's acting up. Looking back at my ship, let's see what else we got here. We got a few more people, a lot of actually people popping out of the station right now. You see them all? Let's take a look at them. So we got, this is a Mammoth, a giant hauler from the Mimitar Republic. Around it, it looks like we got some, there's a Sigil, that's an Amarian hauler. And we got an Oculator, that's a Tech 2 Galante hauler. They're usually good for high defense and even cloaking. So we got an Amar cruiser floating around there, and ooh, here we go. This is a bit better. This is the lowest level capital ship that you can fly, and it's one of the only ones that can actually fly in high sec. This is an Orca, and it is a mining depot for the most part. Let's read the description here. The Orca was developed as a joint venture between the Outer Ring Excavations and Deep Core Mining Inc. as a vessel to help meet the demands of New Eden's industry and provide a flexible platform from which mining operations can be more easily managed. The Orca uses much of the technology developed by Orr for the Rockroll, which is a massive capital ship for mining and industry, and integrated with the latest advancements from Deep Core Mining Research. Division has developed a vessel from which a diverse role to all sizes of operations and needs. And it has its own special hold in here. Let's see if I can find it in the info. Here we go. We got a fleet hangar, and we have a ship maintenance bay. So you can actually store other ships in this ship to give you an idea of the size. And so up there is actually a little mining barge. So this is one of the ones that would fit in it. This guy is right up here in the corner. That is one that is really efficient at mining. If you wanted to be a miner, that is one of the ships that you want to go for. This is a Procurer mining barge. Just use mining strippers instead of mining lasers. Those are the big mining lasers right there, right on the top of the ship. Now the other thing I wanted to show you was, you saw the different sizes of all the ships, and just me sitting here next to my buddy here, John, and you look out and you see all these big ships coming out, and compared to the station. But then if I turn the camera slightly to my right over there, you have those 4 ships. Those are the Amarian Titans. Yes, Siobhan, that is it. The Amarian Titans, the largest playable ship in the game. Let's just scroll out a bit and see the size of those guys. Like, those are as big as the station for the most part. Now these are NPCs. They are part of the Amar fleet. They're just more of a visual thing right there. But they are to scale. So we can approach it. Let's approach that with our new Afterburner and see just see how big it is up close, because I know scale is really hard to determine in a space game because you got no frame of reference. So let's get right up on that. I want to bounce into this thing and we'll see how big this thing actually is. I don't know. I don't know if I believe how big I'm saying it is. You know, maybe I'm upscaling it. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh, you can see that freighter there. It's a Providence, a Marian freighter. It's a capital ship for hauling. You can see it in. It's bigger than the Orca. Much bigger than the Mammoth that we looked at, which is that guy right there. So we're moving away from the station. So you can see the station's actually shrinking in size compared to us, and it's, you know, it's actually getting quite far away. We have, like, we were right underneath that station, right where we popped out. Let's see, are we getting any closer? Somewhat. Well, we're not there yet. So the Afterburners allowing us to travel at 824 meters per second. It's almost double what we normally were, which is fantastic. It's really good. It's doing its job. And just take a look. Like, you can see the flames shooting out the back there. It's really nice. Alright, here we go. So we're about to bounce into this guy. Boop. There you go. Let's zoom out a bit and see what we just bounced off at. Oh, okay. We just bounced off of the bottom end of the back engine. You gotta see how big that guy is compared to us. Let's get some better views. We can do, let's do a single player, or sorry, a first person view. We'll start moving around here. Yeah, what do you think of that? Bouncing off of it again. Like, that is a massive ship. There we go. Small energy turret level 1 has completed. So we can actually start turning these guys on. So I'm going to turn on, where is it? Right over here, put online. That requires capacitor levels. Now right now my capacitor is just a little low because of the afterburning. But if I docked, I'd be able to turn all those guys on instantly. So we'll do that as soon as we get a good view of this Titan. Look at that. And you know what, I'm even going to just disable the UI there for a second, so you guys get a good, nice view, screenshots if you want. Like, that is stunning. And Eve is a stunning game. If I give it anything, that it is just a beautiful game all around. The textures, the atmosphere, as much it is a bit of a, there's spreadsheets and there's graphs and all that, but you know what, I enjoy it. Yeah, Holy Mother of God indeed. Emperor Virus. We break for nobody. Are you talking about me bumping into the back of that Titan? I know, I was pretty ballsy by doing that. Alright, so let's get this UI back on so we can see what we're doing and what's around us. So if you ever want to do that in your game, it's Control F9, and that will disable the UI so you can get some good screenshots. Then there is a very useful camera. Kind of, you hold right click, you can kind of turn away from where you're looking. It gives you the ability to get better angles and whatnot. And scrolling in and out will give you the zoom effect and some really nice effects. So let's get in there and dock up.
I'm sorry, is there a better way to increase the capacitor?
Good question. So the capacitor can be increased through skills. But they can all, as well as implants and boosters, like I said before. But those are more a small marginal boost just to get that little extra edge. Except for the skills, which give you a huge amount, but they take time. If you want a more immediate boost here, you have a few options. Let's explore those as I enter. If you check into your market, we get into the areas of we want engineering equipment, right? Because that is all of our engines, our energy. Have I ever played Eve Valkyrie before? I have not. Only because by the time I actually got around to doing it, they kind of canceled the Eve Valkyrie. Or was it the Valkyrie? What one am I thinking about? Is the Eve Valkyrie the one where you are flying in the drones, or is it the landing one where you're actually like on the ground with tanks and all that stuff? I can't remember. There was a few iterations. If you don't mind just filling me in there, Jabroni. So the capacitors, we got capacitor batteries, which give you a bonus to specific your just capacitor, and batteries are a good defense against energy neutralizers, ones that suck the energy out of you and add it to another enemy ship. Right here, so it increases capacitor storage and provides defense against energy leech and energy neutralizer effects. Yes, Rabroni. So yes, I have yet to play it. It is very interesting, and it gives you a more of a first-person fighter pilot type of feel in the EVE universe. And it's I'm not quite sure how it's connected. I know the other iteration of the game. I think it was it was like Dawn 543 or something like that. It was that was an interactive game where you can actually be on the ground and interact with our universe and the planets you could go and attack and whatnot. But I think they discontinued that because it was for PS3 only. But I'm not too familiar with those. So the other options here, we got the Capacitor Boosters, which if your capacitor starts getting low, you can actually use charges that increase an injection of power to your capacitor. So that is a good, if you don't want to increase the amount of capacitor you have, but you want to make sure you have enough capacitor. So that'll give you that extra boost to refill your tanks. Basically an extra gas can. One of the things that you should note though, as you increase the size of your capacitor, your charge rate is going to drop. So you're not going to be recharging as quickly as you normally would. And that actually goes really hand in hand. So you're going to be, if you're trying to defend against somebody who's draining you, the capacitor batteries work well because they're going to drop that charge rate and give you that large distance to drain from. But then there's also ways to increase that charge rate as well. Those are capacitor rechargers, and you can also use flux coils and power relays to do similar effects, but with slightly different iterations. We got increases capacitor recharge rate, but it reduces the reduction of the maximum capacitor storage. So this is the opposite of what the capacitor batteries are doing. The capacitor power relays, on the other hand, they increase the capacitor recharge rate at the expense of shield boosting. So if you're not tanking with shields and you're focusing more on armor, this is a fantastic bonus to how quickly you're recharging your capacitor, because you're not going to be using that boosting anyways. Did that answer your question there, John?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Not a problem. This game is only on PC. I believe so, unless they've changed it. But I'm pretty sure it's only on PC. I don't think they've released it to any of the consoles. I had taken a break from it for a few months, and so I haven't kept up to date on the most recent update. So I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
Okay, because I'm 0.06 in the negative right now.
On your capacitor?
Yes.
Okay, so when you are looking at your fitting window, you see your current capacitor. It doesn't say stable, it says it gives you a time.
Yes.
What is
4
that
minutes,
time?
15 seconds.
4 minutes and 15 seconds?
Yes.
So if you have enough, or if everything in your equipment is draining energy, so right now I have all of these guys, all my turrets online and active. I have my Afterburner active. So I can simulate what the effects are if everything in my ship was active. So the green light shows that it's been, module's been activated and is currently running in space. And you see mine depletes in 2 minutes and 24 seconds. So if everything in there was running at the same time, I'd only have 2 minutes and 24 seconds before I was completely dead in the water and I have to turn something off. In combat in EVE, that is nearly an eternity for PvP. PvE, you can actually get them to be stable and it's usually a bit better. But I mean, I don't plan on using my armor repair all the time because I'm not going to be getting attacked all the time. So let's say I turn that off. I'm stable. I can fire continuously and have my Afterburner running constantly and be perfectly happy with my cap. It's going to be stable at 61.4%. So I'll just be sitting there, just chill. Or sorry, it'll be just, sustainable at 79.5%. That's my recharge rate excess. So that's where I'll be sitting at constantly. That gives me enough time to, I could actually turn this on, pulse it for a few seconds, and then turn it back off when I don't need it. I know. Oh, I wish I had this at work, at everything. The simulation mode is fantastic. It really gives you the ability to kind of tweak and make builds as you're on the fly, and you can save them too. So if let's say I like this fitting, I can save it as Tim Katarn's Punisher, or I can change that name, and it gives me a list of all the different modules that I have on it, what ones I have skills for, with the blue check marks, which ones I don't, with the red X's. I can add a description describing what I'm going to use this for, and I can save that fit, and that would show. So if I save this guy, and I'm going to pick my personal fittings, boom, there it is right there, Armour, Punisher, and I have one fitting. And if I left click on it, even if I'm not in that ship, it'll open up a simulation window and give me a visual of everything on that ship, so I can tweak it even if I don't even own it yet. Really useful tool, and like most things in Eve, you have the ability to import and export. So I can actually take this and export it to a file on my computer, transfer it to somebody else, and they can load up their Eve, import that file, and have that fitting there for them. Now mind you, that is a very long way of doing it, because I can show you in chat here. We have our chat channel for our fleet. There's our 3 people in there. I could actually drag this fitting, Tim Katarn's Punisher, and plop it right there in the chat. And then I can open that up, and anyone can see what my fitting is. So I'm sharing that with them. They're probably going to laugh because it's probably not the best fitting. So I think we should be good enough. We have about 6 minutes left before my capacitor race, but we're running out of time on the stream. So you know what? Forget that armor repair. Let's just go out and find something to kill. Let's take a look. So we got the scanner open. We're going to take a look to see if we can find the solar system, not scanner. So there's nothing in this system. So I want to get to another system to go and take a look for that event. So let's take a look to, let's go to Shab. We'll warp there, jump into that system and see if there's anything there that we can join in. See if there's anything on my agency list, anything local. Still not showing anything up for that, but we have Resource Wars, that is not too far. Where are we? So we are here. Let's do combat. Let's see if there's any combat around us. Alright, so there is an agent in this system. I don't want to do that. I might want to. Depends if there's anything in this next system. Ooh, go as long as I want. I guess it would be up to everyone else. Do you guys want me to continue? I guess you've probably been waiting for us to get into this event, so I don't want to drag you guys on forever either. But well, we'll keep going. If you guys want to keep on going past 11, then let me know, and we'll just keep on going.
Oh boy.
What's up?
What was the Afterburner you put on your ship?
Just a level 1. Just a 1 MN Afterburner.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense why I don't have any capacitor panel anymore.
Let me guess, you put a 10 NM or MN?
Exactly.
Well, actually, that's really good. So, keep that. Buy the other one if you really want to, but it'll show us a difference between the two ships and how that actually still works, even though that module is meant for a cruiser, and we can have a little bit of a race. No, we'll do that. Okay. No, seriously, it's actually I personally am my main character. I have a Punisher, which I use for extreme speed races, and I use a cruiser-sized micro warp drive, and I can get my ship. So if I'm flying right now, I am flying at my max speed with my Afterburner on. It maxes out to 824 meters per second. On my main character with a micro warp drive, meant for a cruiser no less, on a frigate's hull. This the same ship. I can get that thing going at about 18, or was it 18? I think it's about like between 15 and 18 kilometers, like 1,000 meters per second.
Well, I bought an auxiliary power core because I thought that would help too, but it's not. And I also bought a small capacitor booster.
You'll need the charges for the booster.
What do you mean the charges?
So if you got a charge booster, that requires an ammunition of charges to generate that capacitor back into your capacitor bank. It's an active substitute for capacitor as opposed to the passive of just a capacitor battery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you look in your market, you can actually find that for you here. One thing you can do is you could put in, you could type in the term. Or if you looked at the item, so you bought a capacitor booster, right?
Yes.
So whatever one you look at, if you open up the info window for that, you can actually find the used with tab, and that gives you a list of all the different ammos or charges, cap booster charges, that you can use with that. I would recommend, let's see, for cap booster level 1, you have a maximum capacity of 12 meters cubed. So you could probably fit, let's see if a 200 fits in that. No, 200 does not fit, so that's at 200, so we will drop that down. It's maybe a 150. Oh wait, no, sorry. 150 you can get 4, so I think a 250. 8. Okay, yeah, so you could actually put like 2 or 3 8 or 200 cap booster charges in there, and then have a bunch more in your inventory to reload with.
Oh, great.
Oh, I'm sorry, Shav. I know I get a rambling, and my voice just kind of takes off. I am very sorry if anyone's having trouble following me. I mean, on the plus side, if you guys are struggling to listen to me to figure out what I'm saying because I'm talking so fast, I'm not putting you to sleep with my very soothing voice. So there's that.
Oh, these are pretty cheap.
And there's my armor repair. So I'm actually gonna turn off my Afterburner here, let my capacitor recharge, and I'll show you how I can put something online in space, so I don't have to dock to do that. So let's take a look at the scanner and see if anything shows up in this system. So I got 2 more signatures, and those signatures are, they have to be scanned down. Oh, Lucian, there's going to be a huge test on this, definitely. So I hope you all taking notes. The test is on Tuesday, or Saturday morning. It's probably going to be my next stream, and we'll be continuing with Eve. We might do a different topic. So if at the end of the stream, or even now, if anyone wants to, let me know what kind of thing you want to see in Eve. If you want to see more exploration, if you want to see more combat, if you want me to delve deeper into, let's say, mining, let me know, and we can focus the stream for that. Okay, so there's nothing in this system, so I'm going to jump to another Stargate and take a look. So let's take a look at the universe map. I pulled this up before on the last stream, but I'm going to do it again just for a nice good scale. So this system that I'm currently in is that dot. There's a shab. You can zoom in, you see all those different little orbitals. Those are all the different planets and asteroid belts. Like, there's quite a few things, and I'm right there. I'm flying away. I'm kind of just zooming along. I just jumped out through that gate from Ammar. So there's a shab.
Wow.
And every other one of these dots is another full system in Eve. And you can go to every single one. Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. I just used my capacitor and it just went around once, and that was the end of it. I bought 4 of them.
Well, yes, that's what it is. But so as soon as you run out of capacitor, you use a charge boost injector to fill up your capacitor. And oh, I'm sorry, were you chasing me there, Shav? And when you inject that, you lose that charge because it's an ammunition. It's just like a gas tank, right? You're gonna fill up the gas tanks, and then now that tank's empty, so you chuck that one away. So you always should, fill up more in your inventory so you have a little bit extra to work with. You can reload it in space.
I'll just get a normal one.
Yeah. All right. Ah, there he is. Ooh, okay. So we got a cormorant behind us. That's a Caldari Destroyer. And that is a very nice ship. This one is actually a more recent change. The skin on that one from before, it left a lot to be desired. But I really like the way that they've designed this. They've kind of added these back wings to the back. They streamlined it a bit more. It was very blocky originally. But yeah, this is just a beautiful ship, fantastic. And if I'm not mistaken, actually this ship moves depending on if you're going into warp or not. So if actually, Shav, if you don't mind, while I'm watching you, do you mind going to warp so I can see how your modules move? Doesn't matter where, just anywhere in the system. See, it takes a little time to catch up with the audio here, so we'll see if she hears me and does it. Maybe not. I think Red is still playing, but he's struggling on his own, just trying to figure out how to move at the moment.
Okay, I got the same Afterburner you have now, the 1M Afterburner 1. And it's still the same Capacitors.
Oh no, I was too far away, I couldn't see it, and yeah, I'm sorry, it did not work. Oh well. We will have to get another ship, one that moves for us, and we'll use that. So John, yeah, so the MN stands for meganewton. An actual scientific terminology. There's tons in this game. Astronomical units are used as a measurement of distance. So an EU,
yeah.
Meganewtons for force, kilojoules for capacitor, and so on and so forth. It's a really well done, scientifically based game. Okay, so yes, opening up the map, we're gonna take a look to see where we can go. I don't want to jump into anything dangerous, but I also want to kind of get off the beaten path. So anything that's more of like a dead-end system is pretty good. So I'm here. Like these two systems down here look like they're dead ends. They're not going to go anywhere. They connect to other systems, but there's no through traffic. Like unless you specifically want to go to this system, there's not much through traffic. So there's a good chance that if I go there, I'm going to find one of these events and not have to battle somebody else for it. So we'll jump over that way. So I'm going to link this in chat so that the other people in our group can see where we're going. So I can left click on it and drag it right into chat and enter. And that allows me to, I'm just linking a link, and they can pick up that link and set a destination themselves, follow along.
Warp drive active.
Red, we cannot hear you. I am so sorry. I did not mean to talk over you.
You can't hear me when I talk?
Well, now I can.
I've been talking with that this whole time.
You have?
Yeah,
Yeah.
neither of us could hear you.
That's great.
Oh, that's odd.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to talk over you.
Oh no, it's fine. It's not a big deal. I was just confused.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, we couldn't hear you at all.
Hilarious.
Oh well. Well, my ship's
Red,
ready.
how you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I appreciate the donation.
Oh yeah. So you got your ship now?
I did. I struggled with getting the capacitor working, but I finally got it. Finally
Yeah,
got it good.
Drive
So
active.
Yeah, I still have to get rid of that blueprint. For some reason I can't sell it. Right? But oh well, we'll deal with that later.
Yeah. Could one of you shoot me an invite to the fleet?
Yes, I think.
Just whenever you have a minute. I'm not in any hurry.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that, John. I don't have access to invite him to the fleet. You are the leader today.
Oh boy.
Thank you.
I'm not used to this fleet thing. Okay, you're in now?
Yep.
Awesome. And
So
you know where we're going, right?
Yeah, I'll relink the link to the system that we're headed, so that way Red can see it. I've just been scanning the systems as I go, trying to find one of these event. So here we go. Cosmic signature.
Should I-
I don't know.
So should I sell my micro auxiliary power core 1?
You could, but it might become useful later on. Like you could keep it and equip it to another ship if you ever have a use for it. So right now, if you guys can see on my my probe scanner, we actually have a drone collection combat site, and we have some Sasha refuge and Sasha burrows. So these aren't the events, but you know what? I want to shoot something so badly, so let's go to one of these. So if everyone wants to meet up in this system, I just linked that into the chat. The Abadan system. We can engage the hostiles at this cosmic combat site.
I'm
Yeah.
coming.
Yes, Sean, I'm glad you said something too, because I would have been sad if Red was just talking to himself all night.
I do it already, so.
So while we're waiting, let's see. So if you ever have a situation where you've equipped an item, like my armor repair, that now I've finally trained for, so I have that, but it's offline, you can right click on it and you can go to put online. And as long as your capacitor is at over 95% full, it will drain that chunk of capacitor, and you can see it's currently recharging, and it will turn that module on. So now I have the ability to use it in space. I could choose to put it back offline, but then I would have to wait for my capacitor to recharge again before I could do that and get it back online. So, obviously I don't have any damage yet, but I can turn it on so you can see the visual effects that it does to my ship. It should start creating a glimmer across the hull, but actually I think that might not activate until it actually is trying to repair damage, because it is localized more on actual damage. So yeah, I'm not seeing anything at the moment, so we'll hold off on that. We'll do it again, and I don't have any targets to try my weapons out, but you can see my my new weapons on my top of my ship. Those are my dual light pulse lasers. Let's take a look at some of the information about that. So if I have, if I open my tactical overlay, it gives you an idea of kind of like the range of everything around you. You can hover over your weapons and you can see your optimal range right there on the screen. So you got, like I have the written amount in that little tooltip. I have 5,000 meters optimal range with another 7,000 on top of that of fall off. But you can see on the actual display those red circles, and that gives you a more visual representation of where the targets need to be in to be able to hit them properly based on me being at the center. So when we get into battle, our goal is to actually get all the enemies that we're fighting at to be within that first red circle and no further than the second red circle, so we can actually shoot something. Now the damage control is a passive module, so it doesn't actually have to do anything. It just sits there, and I've already gotten all of my resistances from it, which is nice. So actually in EVE you have multiple different ways to try to mitigate damage. You can do active repairing, so with that being shield, hull, or armor, and you can physically repair damage that is done to you. You can have a passive resistance, or a passive tank, which is more about a buffer. So you set it up your tank that has enough resistances and enough extra HP that you can kill the other person before they drain out that XP on you, or the HP on you. Obviously, you can kind of mix that. Oh, yeah, perfect. All right, so do you mind making me the leader of that so I can warp everyone to this this signature? If you know how, you just right-click on my name, you go to Fleet, and it should be Make Me the Boss. You are, hi Gull, thank you for joining the stream. You are flying Mimitar, eh? Flying pile of junk man. So as I was saying in the prior stream, the Mimitar ships kind of look like they've been hobbled together with bubblegum and toothpaste. Spare parts and kind of rusting, but they're utilitarian. I do like the way they look. Oh, at least some of the ships. I mean, you always have your favorites. Okay, so am I the boss yet there, John?
John.
Yes, I am. I am now the boss.
Oh, my mic was off. Sorry about that.
That's not a problem. Warp to this signature. So as a boss, I can open up my scanner. I see my scan. So we got the Sasha's Burrow. We have a Sasha's Refuge. So we'll go to the Burrow first. So, I cannot warp us there yet. Let me just take a look at my fleet settings. Where am I? Okay. Just got to move us around in the fleet. I need to be, there we go, I need to be the fleet commander to be able to move everyone around. So that's actually a really nice system here. You can kind of, in the fleet system, you can move people around into squads, wings, so that voice communication in-game, as well as warping abilities and commands, actually tier nicely, so you don't have an inrush of, like, I need armor repair from the guy who's trying to manage the entire squadron. So now we have that ability. Yes, there we go. Warp fleet to within. We'll warp within about 0, because usually there's a warp entrance point, so a gate that kind of gets you into the event. And then we'll see how that goes. So we're all warping in, or I go.
So I equipped all 10 kilometer weapons, like optimal range. Is that bad for what I am?
No. So there are different ways you can fight. So actually, okay, so this one doesn't have any warp in points. It's just we get in and we fight. So everything's starting at about 30k from our overview. So, but no, if you want to right-click on one of those enemies, lock target, and then keep it at a distance. You want to keep it at 10k, and you will constantly try to keep away from it to stay within that optimal range of your.
All right, cool.
Orbiting is also another good idea, because you're increasing the transverse velocity and the orbital velocity, which decreases the amount their turrets can hit you, because they're not tracking nearly as fast. Basically, the same old, you have a record player, the inside of the record spins faster than the outside. Or sorry, the reverse. The outside spins faster than the inside. You're moving faster because you're orbiting. But meanwhile, the other guy
John,
has
why?
to sit stay. Huh?
Oh, wow.
Okay, so we got another guy in here. This is actually one of the Genosis ships. This is a battle cruiser, Genosis battle cruiser, and that's one of the rewards for this event. If you subscribe into EVE and pay a subscription before May 6th, you will get one of these ships plus a whole whack of others free. And they are really unique because they don't require hardly any skills to fly them. You literally need Spaceship Command level 1, and everyone starts with that skill. So they're really powerful ships that everyone can get into at any point in the game because they are unique event ships. They do look nice, I have to say.
John, you gotta save some for us.
What?
You gotta save some for us.
Nah.
John's kicking butt here,
Let's
eh?
take the glory.
Well, he just killed 4 guys at once, so...
Oof, wow.
What are you guys doing up there?
Oh, apparently nothing. You know what? I'm getting into the battles. Move out of the
There's
way.
only one left.
I see 2.
2 left. Oh yeah, 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm gonna get there. So I need to get within, let's see, 5,000 meters to deal any decent damage to these guys. So hopefully I can get there before you guys do. So another useful thing is your guns. Right now I have 4 of them. I'd have to click on each one of those separately. I'm gonna group those together. So now they'll all activate if I just click that one button. There's a lot of targets here. So there's my yellow beams firing in. Oh yeah, look at that. Ooh,
There we
blew
go.
it up.
Good lord.
Ah, 3 more. Here we go.
That's nice. Yep, that's the great thing about these things. They'll just keep on spawning. Eventually we'll get to the point where there's none left.
I feel useful in this game.
Well, we had to find you one, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to make it easy on myself. I'm going to set this orbit distance right now. Set my default orbit distance to 5,000 meters. Because that's what I want. So now I can just click on that button, start firing, and I'll automatically start moving into that direction and start firing away, and I'm just ripping face. Look at that. Oh yeah, look at that explosion there. That is nice. Alright, let's get the next guy here. We're gonna put that. Let's turn on that. Oh yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear the my lasers firing off. It's a little low for me with my headphones, but I think the stream is a little bit higher. So let me know, because I would love you guys to be able to hear it. The pulse lasers fire.
I forgot to add crystals to 3 of my weapons. I feel stupid.
Don't worry, I don't have crystals in one of my weapons either.
No, the problem is I need crystals to fire them.
Oh.
Oh,
So
here,
I'm doing
you know
this
what?
with one gun.
Now here. I'll what crystals did you buy?
Oh, I only have 1. I didn't buy any. I forgot that I needed them for this one.
No, but what crystal do you have? Like what type of crystal?
Oh, just literally the starting one, the standard,
Okay.
standard S. So
Well,
I need to fit 3 in, you know.
Well, I can swap out. So I'm going to swap out mine. So if you see, I actually went here and I right-clicked, and I've changed my ammo. Now, one of the benefits of energy weapons is their draw is that they use up a lot of energy, but you can right-click and just change the ammo very quickly. This is just changing out that most other ammo have a reload time. So I'm actually swapped to my multi-frequency, which are, you see the optimal range has dropped drastically. It's only about 2,500 distance. But the damage has been drastically increased, so hopefully we'll get some better effect.
Should have brought a scavenger along.
Yeah.
Oh, and that was the last one there.
Is there any loot?
Yep.
Oh yeah, there's
There's
tons
for
of
me.
loot. So I can scroll out here. We got a bunch of wrecks here. So the wrecks can be salvaged for materials like to make rigs, implants for your ship that will enhance it. Then the loot on there, you can have anything from minerals to dog tags from that you can retrieve bounties for, or modules for your ship. So let's go and take a look at one, see what we can find. We'll go up to this one because no one else is going up to that one. Now I'm kind of looking at the screen here, and I'm moving around. I'm clicking on things on the screen. It's a little inefficient, but I'm doing that just for more dramatic effects, so you guys can see what I'm doing. Over on my overview, if you that's where you really want to be clicking, because everything will be there. So I want to click on my loot tab, and I can see everything there. And you see I'm highlighting each one as I go. So I want to fly to this one. I can even select it. I can look at it, orbit it. I can even look at this right here. So that's the wreck of Sancha's small wreck. And then all those little names there are the alliances and the corporations of whomever killed it. Oh, there's my ship that just bounced right out through it. There he goes. Let's open this up and take a look. So I got one small multi-frequency crystal, which is what I'm using, so that's great in case I lose one, so I'll take that. And I have some metal scraps. The estimated price of this loot is about 3.5 or 3.9 thousand ISK if I sold it. So that's not too bad. Not a bad little thing for a starter. Thanks, Lucian, for letting me know. Yeah, if you guys, I'm glad you guys can hear the weapons, because that's one of the things I like. Mimitar is actually really nice. They have their auto cannons and artillery cannons. So just the rat-tat of your auto cannons coming through just really makes. Okay, so while everyone else seems to be looting, let's take a look at where the next.
Oh, it looks
system.
like what's his name has a
Chav?
yeah.
Yeah, and you know what I saw?
What?
They've got a bounty.
Yeah, really? Okay, that's funny.
Yes.
Who has a bounty?
Chav?
Oh, does Shav?
Yes. To be
Yeah,
precise.
611.
Oh, $611,000. Huh?
Yes. It's quite nice, isn't it?
That is nice. That is nice. And now, because, okay, so if you were ever inclined to, this is for all of you viewers, decide to attack your buddy like that, one thing, take a look at their ship. Like, she's in a destroyer. That is the thing that can kill me the easiest. I want to take caution if I was going to engage that kind of ship. But the other thing I want to look at is if I piss off that person, I'm also going to probably piss off their alliance and their corporation, which might want to come after me. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. But if you did, there's a security safety when you start off with. The safety is enabled. You see that green little light right there? I can left click on that and change that. So if I have in safety mode, I prevent all actions that will give me a suspect or a criminal status. So I can't do anything illegal in the game. Partial safety allows me to steal, gets criminal status. So I'm allowed to steal. I can do this stuff, but I'm not specifically limited from attacking players. I can't do that. Or I can disable safety altogether and just do whatever I want. For example, I can do that. And then I could actually attack someone, probably not Shav. Maybe I'll attack John. Or Red.
Oh, thank you.
So let's take a look. Where are they? Where are they? They're over here. So let's lock target on one of them. Let's see what we can do. I'm not even sure which one I locked onto. Oh, it happened to be John. Luck of the draw there.
Oh, and I locked on you.
Ah, you have, because you have an automatic defense to lock onto anyone that's locking onto you. So I'm going to attack.
Your security status has been
Uh-oh.
lowered.
So my
Oh,
security
why? Actually doing
status.
this?
My security status. What? Here we go. Concord's come in to destroy me.
Capacitors is empty.
Perfect.
Nice.
So this is a good example of what illegal thing will happen. So I attacked a friend of mine. Now, even I could attack a major player in the game, any player. He happened to be someone on me, but so you can see he's gone orange. It means I have combat status with him. He's also has a green flashing little skull there in my setup. That means he has an engagement with me. You can see that up here. I have a limited engagement timer. So if I respawned and jumped out, he could attack me again, free of charge, because I've already offended him, and Concord's going to give him the ability to do so, get some retribution. And there's my ship, or what's left of it, the Armour frigate. And here's my little pod. So this is where
Don't
you
you
live.
even, John? That is my. Oh, you. That is
What?
mine, sir. His body is mine.
My body's no. I'm still alive here. I'm in my pod.
Oh, okay. We can solve that. Come here.
No. So then the Concorde came in. Now
Get 'em.
Concorde did not stop me from did not prevent the illegal action from happening, but they did end it. And that's because we are in a 0.9 security status system. If we happen to be in a lower security status, like say a 0.5, they wouldn't have taken as long.
No, thank
they would
you.
have taken longer to get here, which means that I could have killed
I
them
would die.
before I died, but I still would have died. Unless I was in low security status system. Anything from 0.4 down to 0.0 is low sec, and that is still have security around gates and stations, but you don't have the Concord presence because they got to focus on high sec. Then you have
By the way,
lawless
why
space. Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, one thing. Why was I penalized for defending myself?
You were penalized?
Yes, I have this. It says capsuleer log off timer.
So that is in case you want to try to cheat out. Like if I start attacking you and you go, oh no, I can't win, you quickly log off and your character could, just warp away and disappear. That prevents you from doing that. So it prevents you from just quitting the game and hoping for the best. Your ship will still stay there in space, will not warp away for another 12 seconds or 12 minutes, and I have the same thing. So that way I can't just disconnect whenever somebody attacks me.
Do you want your stuff, by the way, from your wreck?
No, you guys keep that. You guys can have fun
Okay,
with that.
fine.
We'll buy a new ship. Next stream I will be able to have a larger ship. So we'll try that one out. So I really don't feel like flying all the way back to a station. I mean, it's about 11:30 and I probably should start to close up the stream. So let's tell you a little bit about death. So death is not permanent in EVE. If you die, you will respawn. There used to be a lot worse. If you died, you could lose skill points. They've removed that because that got to the point where people started having negative skill points when they got killed enough. It was pretty bad. But you can lose your ship, which I did, and I didn't have it insured, which means I lost everything I paid to fit it. I lost that ship. I don't have it anymore. I don't have any of the fittings. I don't have my loot. John and Red and Shav have all looted me. They have everything.
I don't have
Actually,
anything.
I think I got everything. So
Yeah, you did.
Ha ha.
So they have everything right now.
Fine.
And yeah, so they have everything right now, and yeah, I've lost all that money, and I can actually. So I kind of have this in cinematic right now, but let's just pull this up. Hi Bagans, how's it going? So I have a kill report. So these things are prized. These are what people post online and brag about who they've killed and what they've done. So this one's a pretty shameful one.
Lies with me, Skywalker. Obi-Wan knew this to be true.
What is that? Another member of the Intrepid Elite. Obi-Wan Dragon. Thank you. So this one's a little shameful for me because as you can see, the final blow was laid by John, but the top damage was the Concord police. They just raped me, and I lost a net worth of 600,000 ISK. I mean that was a decent chunk. So crime doesn't necessarily pay, but there are ways to make it pay. There are many people in the game of EVE that have made huge careers and millions and billions of ISK on being criminals. And it's actually something that the devs encourage. Anyone who can think out of the box and figure out loopholes to their systems without violating their bleh. Somebody else help me out here. My tongue's all...
I don't know.
ULA. The terms of agreement for purchasing the game. So don't sell your game to somebody else, all that stuff. As long as you don't violate that, anything goes pretty much in EVE. The only thing they try to tend you away from is a more veteran character coming in and killing noobs. That is kind of frowned upon. But so yeah, I mean I lost a decent chunk of money for that. So let's see what happens if I die in my pod. So this is my pod right now. This is where I'm leaving. So let's self-destruct. So that way, because if any of these guys attacked me, Concord would then try and kill them, because that would be an illegal action in this security status space. So I have My
Run,
capsule will
boys.
self-destruct in 1 minute and 49 seconds. Don't worry, the explosion won't hit you.
I'm not sticking around for it.
No. Well, let's slow down. I'm gonna stop my ship.
What kind of ship does Concord even have?
Their own unique brand. It's a flavor of everything. They're really
'Cause I
nice
love that
ship.
ship.
Yeah, I know. I'd get one if I could. So let's make this all nice and cinematic. Where's the sun? Oh yeah, that's right there. I want to see my body burst out of my pod here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not creepy sounding at all.
So in EVE Online, the capsule is a technology that uplinks you to your ship. It protects you in case of destruction, but it will eventually die if need be. And when it does, you die. But the technology inside scans your brain, clones you, and you awaken back in a clone facility at a station. Maybe a little pissed off that you just lost however many ISK, that were millions of ISK that you lost from doing a battle. But you will be alive, and that is the journey of the capsuleer to... Oh no, you're inside of me! Oh, I can't see. There you go. I can't see the beauty that is my body as soon as it explodes. You know what? A self-destructing life pod is a fantastic idea.
Oh.
And there I am, Tim Katarn, floating in space. And you guys can actually loot that body out of space and keep it as your own prized possession.
I'm doing that right now.
Awesome.
Or I would be if I could get any closer.
So now I am in space, or in my space station, where my clone was. It's quite alright. So I'm back in a pod. I mean, and because I didn't have a ship at this station, Concord gave me a little bit of money. Let's see how much they gave me. Ooh, that's my map. They gave me... Oh, I got bounty prizes. Oh no, that's... Sorry. That was the money I got from killing all those pirates. So I got the bounty right there. But I probably get a little insurance money from the game for not having insurance on my ship. Let's see here. Pend insurance paid. We from the friendly insurance company Pend Insurance regret your temporary lack of spacecraft. According to the agreement between the Pend Insurance and the SCC, we hereby grant you a brand new Imperior, which is my new Corvette, fully fitted, also including as a gratitude gift of a single unit of tritanium. Tim, we are going to be shutting it down at 11:30, so 2 more minutes. No, Matt. I am the Alpaca. I am streaming tonight on Intrepid Dawn. I'm filling in for Tim, who is busy with work, but he is still able to talk and chat with you guys. So now that I've got that ship, they gave me my noob ship back. That's basically it. They felt sorry for me. They gave me my noob ship back. I can take a look at my inventory here, my ship hull, and I can find it. So there we go. So I'll make active, and boom, I have my noob ship again. Still lost all that money, but I am able to get back out there and continue on. And that is the constant struggle of Eve. So I think we'll end it there. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, John and Red, for joining us, and Chav for joining us in-game. We will be continuing again on Saturday morning. I will update the Discord with a time. But if anyone who wants to post in the EVE Online chat in Discord can let me know of what topic you'd like me to cover in the next stream, and I'll try and accommodate all the requests.
Well,
you guys can say goodbye.
Thank you, everyone.
Goodbye.
All right.
And now we're just
See ya.
waiting.
Yeah, and good.